These three cutie potatoes have been nearly wiped out of the Everglades by one single invasive creature, the Burmese python. Florida has tried everything, hunting them, trapping them, tagging them, even spawn killing them before they can reproduce. And somehow, none of it has worked. So naturally, there is only one option left. What if we fought chaos with something even more chaotic? What if we found a creature just crazy enough to get the job done? Behold, the 1,000 honeybadger operation. But how did one of the biggest snakes on Earth travel across the world and end up running ham in Florida? Well, the short answer is people. The long answer is the exotic pet trade mixed with decades of bad decisions. Burmese pythons were imported into the US for years as pets. When they were babies, they were cheap, small, calm, and easy to sell. The problem is that they do not stay that way forever. They grow into 15-foot muscle-powered meat tubes that eat basically anything they can get their coils around. And once people realized they could not safely keep a living anaconda substitute in their house, many of them did the worst possible thing. They let them go into the wild. And this did not happen once. It happened over and over again. Snakes were released into canals, swamps, parks, and wetlands for decades. Some escaped from breeders. Some were dumped by owners. And once a breeding population actually formed, Florida became the worst possible place for such a mistake to develop. Because Florida is basically python heaven. The climate is warm year-round, and the Everglades is massive, flooded, and almost impossible to search. There is water everywhere, hiding spots everywhere, and prey absolutely everywhere. Deer, raccoons, rabbits, birds, even alligators. And there are very few predators that can reliably kill a fully grown conscious muscle noodle. And that is a major problem. Because Burmese pythons get absolutely huge, and they got an insanely high spawn rate. Females can lay dozens of eggs at a time, and those hatch into snakes that immediately start eating their way up the food chain. Currently, there is around 300,000 Burmese pythons slithering through the Everglades, and that's a conservative estimate. Over time, this turned into a full ecosystem meltdown. In areas where pythons are well established, mammal populations have crashed by up to 90%. Animals that used to be common are now barely seen at all. So why not just hunt them down and fix the problem? Well, humans are apparently terrible at hunting invisible snakes in swamps. And as mentioned, the Everglades are enormous. Pythons are perfectly camouflaged. They spend most of their time hidden. And by the time you find one, there are probably 10 more hatching. So Florida did not just get an invasive snake, it accidentally built the perfect environment for it. Florida has been dealing with Burmese pythons for nearly half a century now. And for most of that time, humans have been losing. So if we can't fix it, why not push this problem over to a creature which confidently lacks common sense and any idea of risk management? Enter the bull-biting honeybadger. Honeybadgers have one of the most earned reputations in the animal kingdom. They are fearless to the point of being actively unreasonable. Pain does not slow them down, danger does not register, and self-preservation feels more like a suggestion than a rule. These animals pick fights with predators many times their size, get bitten, stung, trampled, and then keep going like nothing happened. That aggression is backed up by a ridiculous pain tolerance. Honeybadgers regularly survive venom that would instantly kill most mammals their size. It does not make them immune, but it means venom alone is rarely a fight-ending problem for them. Which matters in Florida as well, as they have some insanely venomous snakes there it would have to overcome when on the job. But what really matters here is not really their venom resistance. It is size, strength, and constriction. Honeybadgers live alongside large constrictors in Africa, including massive pythons that are fully capable of killing them. And they do not just avoid these snakes, they actively engage them. But before we check out their ungodly snake hunting abilities, I've got to let you know about my absolutely dazzling coffee mugs. If you didn't know, pretty much every clip on this channel is bought and paid for, and over time, that's become a very real production cost. And I'm not a massive studio or anything, so these coffee mugs are basically my way of crowdfunding to help cover some of those costs and hopefully improve the video quality even more. So if you want to support the channel directly and also get a unique animal coffee mug, I'd genuinely love for you to check them out. And these are not just shitty souvenirs either. I have been using mine daily for 7 weeks straight, without a single scratch. And just like the honeybadgers, they are really hecking durable. So make sure to check out animalsrecapped.com or click the link in the description. There are documented cases of honey badgers being completely wrapped in heavy coils, crushed, suffocated, and still somehow managing to twist, bite, and break free. And here is the part that separates them from almost everything else. When most animals escape a python coil, they run. Honey badgers do not. Some turn around and immediately re-engage the snake, even while dealing with multiple threats at once, fighting off jackals, hyenas, or anything else that decides to join the chaos. Retreat simply is not part of the program. Physically, they are built for this. Their skin is extremely thick and incredibly loose, which makes it difficult for a snake to maintain a clean, lethal grip. Even while being constricted, honey badgers can rotate inside their own skin, reach the snake's head, and bite back. It is one of the few mammals that can still fight while being actively strangled. That experience is real, that danger is familiar, and that is why the idea sounds tempting. If anything on four legs is crazy enough to take on giant snakes in a swamp full of gators, it is the honey badger. But one question remains. What would actually happen if we were to release 1,000 ball-biting honey badgers into the swamps of Florida? Well, the consequences of such a dumb, foolish idea would be absolutely devastating. Let's say we airdrop these 1,000 honey badgers straight into the middle of the Everglades. The honey badgers would immediately start doing what honey badgers always do. They explore, they dig, they bite things, and most importantly, they go for the easiest food available. Small mammals, ground-nesting birds, reptiles. Anything slow, soft, or unlucky enough to be nearby gets turned into calories for the honey badger army. And that is the first problem with this batshit crazy plan. The badgers would absolutely go after snakes, but they would not start there. They would first hammer all the same animals the pythons already devastated, the exact victims they were supposed to be saving. Instead of fixing the damage, the honey badgers would finish the job. The Everglades are already missing many of these species because of the pythons, which makes this even worse. So instead of immediately reducing python numbers, the badgers wipe out what little prey is left. Python numbers would drop, but the food web would collapse even faster. And just as a great ecological collapse is just around the corner, another problem shows up: territory. You see, honey badgers are solitary and extremely aggressive toward each other. It's almost an understatement calling a honey badger aggressive, as they have literally transcended aggression into the purest form of anger. And dropping 1,000 of these chaos gremlins into overlapping ranges pretty much turns the Everglades into a non-stop honey badger MMA tournament. Fights break out constantly, injuries pile up. Energy gets wasted fighting each other instead of anything resembling pest control. This battle of territory will prompt the badgers to start spreading outwards. And here is a detail that makes this plan even worse. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, Burmese pythons are basically stuck in Florida. They need heat, humidity, and wetlands. The cold kills them. Dry regions stop them. That is why their range stays mostly locked to South Florida. Honey badgers, on the other hand, do not have that limitation. They can literally not be contained. They thrive in deserts, grasslands, wetlands, farmland, and pretty much anywhere with food, which means the badgers would not stay contained in the Everglades. They would spread far beyond it, into areas the pythons can never reach. So while the snake problem stays mostly trapped, the honey badger problem would keep expanding into the rest of America. Some would move toward farmland, where chickens and small livestock suddenly become a problem. Others push into suburban areas, where trash cans, pet food, and backyard animals look very tempting. Honey badgers do not care about property lines, protected wetlands, or zoning laws. Removing a few thousand snakes here and there does not really slow an animal that lays dozens of eggs at a time. So instead of one invasive problem, Florida now has two. One silent and sneaky. One loud, aggressive, and impossible to ignore. The end result is not balance, it is escalation. More dead wildlife, more human conflict, more chaos, and a brand new invasive species running around the Everglades with zero interest in following the plan. And that is the core issue. Honey badgers are incredible survivors. They are tough, fearless, and wildly adaptable. But unfortunately, you can't fix ecosystems by dropping in 1,000 of the angriest animals available and hoping for the best. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, then I'm sure you'll enjoy some of the others on screen as well. And I'll see you in the next one.